If you could reset your life to the age of 6 years, but keep your memories, skills and knowledge, would you do it? Why or why not? I've had this daydream so many times it's not even funny. Yes, aim and not even to be rich with Bitcoin, just fix my life a bit. Went down a bad path for a while, I fix that. I would know what I want to do for work in school, rather than wasting 5 years of my life. Help my brother with depression before it got too bad. Mom, Dad, look, you have to trust me. Buying Bitcoin is a really good idea. Exactly. Why waste time on doing anything but having fun? Then dropping 50 on BTC at 0.0001 each and being a billionaire in 2021. You would have to be careful not to monopolize the currency early. If there's not enough out there being used, the value won't go up, because the only thing that gives it value, especially early, is utility, and there has to be enough to go around so the people who want to use it can actually use it. Probably can attempt a speedrun to get back where I'm now as a genius for my age. Genius kid burnt out adult. At least that is how it seems to go a lot of the time. But seeing as you'd be a lot better equipped for it, I'd assume it would go different than a first time 6-year-old. Oh god, I was a terror as a child. I can only imagine what kind of asshole I'd be, knowing exactly what I can and can't get away with as a minor. Mister, it's my work ID. Please stay silent during class. Hey Ms. Morgan, your husband is cheating on you and you're gonna get divorced this summer. Go shit in your hat. Oh dude, I started learning piano at 6. Ducking cashing in on every hit song made in the past 18 years. At age 6, I might. Age 14, definitely. This is what I was thinking. But only if I could avoid high school. High school sucked. Duck high school. Duck it up the ass with a giant rubber dick. I'd be careful. Certainly would pretend I'm actually 6-year-old and occasionally would blow people's minds while working on things when no one is around. I really don't think I could do this. I'm just finishing up a degree in EE. When I was 6, I remember being blown away by my friend who knew how to do square roots. I can't imagine going through school doing things like multiplication tables all while knowing how to do advanced calculus and proofs. Schoolwork would become the worst possible busy work imaginable, which would probably lead to me to do terrible in school, despite being able to test through basically every grade immediately. The potential problem you'd have is everyone would just think you're a 6-year-old kid and treat you like one, notwithstanding your retained knowledge. Life could be very boring, frustrating for a number of years. I'd prefer to reset at an older age like 16, where your choices have a bigger impact on your future than you appreciate when you are that age. Tempting. But no. With all those things still in place, I'd basically be a 32-year-old trapped in a 6-year-old's body. And that would make things very weird with regards to making friends, as I wouldn't be interested in people anywhere close to my own age group. Plus 2 of my hobbies, weightlifting and woodworking, would not be doable if I was only 6. Plus, as much as I wish I could go back and do things better, especially in my 20s, I'd be afraid of missing out on all the good experiences I've had on the path I took in real life. You could become a world famous 6-year-old woodworking star, though. Definitely not. I'm not gonna go through school again. Wouldn't you feel awkward when, later on, you're a 30-year-old in a 14-year-old's body and other 14-year-olds start flirting with you? Absolutely not. I experienced horrific abuse in childhood, and I absolutely love being an adult, thanks very much. There's no way I want to revisit being young and vulnerable. Honestly thinking, I wouldn't go back because of all the testing I had to go through and homework. I wouldn't want to do that again. Too much work and effort going through school again. Waking up at 5 AM and taking the SATs again when growing up. Losing all my college credit and retaking classes. No, maybe like a year back or so, then yay. But 6 is too far back. If I had the choice, it would be 18. I'm an adult and can drive. Done with grade school, but can do better in college. But I'd do 6 again if I had no other choice. Grandpa still alive. Can get my deceased dogs again as puppies. 6 is a bit too far back, but if you can just drop me off at 12, that would be great. Heck yeah, my life is crap. No, I wouldn't. I can't handle the child abuse again. Who wouldn't? Fix all your mistakes. Get a bunch of money. Prevent some disasters by calling in things like fake bomb threats. I have had a bunch of health conditions show up later in life. It would be rough knowing they were coming up and not being able to do anything about it. I think I would find it hard to establish relationships. Hard to put full effort into things. I expect if I did this, my life would end up in a worse place. But I would still probably do it, just to escape my health problems. Yes, reasons. Some changes are better made younger in life. It might be the one that says no, because of the love of my life. All the actions I've done led me to meeting her. Of course it's possible to still meet her, but how I am now, to let's say go back in time, to get rich wouldn't be the same in my opinion. Yeah, cause I would know how to protect myself against abuse and stuff the next time round. Bad memories are something to learn from. At least years of therapy gave me some kind of life knowledge. Yes, because I ducked something up real bad and could avoid it. Where do I sign up? I'd be going back to a pretty unpleasant time. But I'd be much better equipped to deal with it, and for the chance to do everything again, but slightly differently. Correct mistakes. Invest in Bitcoin and other companies. I'm late 20s, so could definitely still make a pretty decent profit. And maybe take a new or more direct career path is all totally worth it. Patience would be key, at least until around 16. Making only minor changes until then, but I can deal with that. Yes, being a kid is fun. All you got to do is play, watch cartoons and not have a worry in the world. No bad knees or bad back. Make me a kid again. Or if I could go back in time with my memories, I would take better care of myself physically. Convince my parents to buy stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. Buy Bitcoin when it was pennies and later become a billionaire. So many missed opportunities to become wealthy in the past years. No. What if I sit in a different bus seat that one time and cause WWII? I think you may overestimate the impact you have had on world history. You could easily start a world war by releasing a bunch of red balloons into the air. World resets to when I was 6. Sure, I could save some family, make small changes, but live similar life with less anxiety, end up similar spot to where I'm at. But better work-life balance as I saved myself 25 years of studying. I wake up as a 6-year-old tomorrow, but in today's world, nope, not trying to leave my wife and kids for an extra 25 years to live, and likely some nice genius notoriety as ill, be a highly educated 6-year-old. No, there's no guarantee I'd meet my wife. Yes, fix my eyes, fix my skin, fix my regrets, spend more time outside to prevent myopia development. I'm now 7.00 roughly. Spend more time with my friend and maybe she might not have moved schools. Maybe make some new friends. Heck ducking, yeah. Imagine all the possibilities. All the times I wouldn't get rejected. Yes, no regrets. I get to do everything right this time. Absolutely. It's going to be weird for others though, that a 6-year-old kid has the mind of a 25-year-old. LOL. Duck that. My dad was an abusive alcoholic, and somewhere under the age of 10 molested me apparently on a coke bender, so he conveniently doesn't remember it. So maybe I could avoid it. But I'd always still have the memory that it would have happened, even if I did manage to avoid it. I went to a public school system that liked abusing the slow and disabled kids, but my parents were too poor to do anything about it. It would do nothing but reinforce my hatred of anything government funded. Yup, I'm going back. I mean, I've ducked up Heltons in my life, and unlike with others, school only started to become a problem recently, so I can handle school again. Gifted too. Wow, I'm lucky in intelligence for everything but memory and attention span. I can get shit started early. It would be mostly interesting experiment, but there would be few concrete things I'd actually like to do. 1. Prevent my mother's death. The accident that caused it would have been easy to avoid. My mom, while also very educated and wise person, was keen believer in supernatural, so there's decent chance I could convince her that I do have some knowledge of her future. 2. Memorize details of all major tragedies that happened within my country. No doubt many of them could have been prevented with one phone call and right time. For example, 2 school shootings that happened within my lifetime. Anonymous call to cops. Explain the plan and person's motives in such a great detail that they have reason to arrest them and search their computer. 3. Invest any money I can save to stuff like Bitcoin. Easy future no matter what path I choose. Absolutely, because that's right before I broke. I started being sexually abused around that time. And I will always wonder what kind of person I would have turned out to be if someone had stopped it from happening. I told my parents, but they called me a liar. And that's when my childhood broke forever. If I could do it again, I would insist that they protect me. And if they refused, I'd tell a teacher or a neighbor or somebody, anybody, or I'd bite off his dick. I don't know, but I would really appreciate the chance to save myself. Absolutely. To see some people I miss and appreciate them before they're gone out of my life. To be able to always come out on top. To better appreciate those moments when I was younger again. I wouldn't, to be honest. Even though there are things that I would change, I mean, who doesn't? But I'm quite satisfied with everything I have right now. Despite having the knowledge to do better, the relationships you forge along the way may be vastly different if you relive that part of your life knowing how it's supposed to be. Then again, I think you'd also feel some crazy deja vu all the time if you went back like that. Haha. I'll pass. Certainly, I've lost a decent amount of memories thanks to bees, so it would be pretty neat to not only be able to recall events well but also avoid bees in the first place. Yes. For a start, I'd be on the lead in technology. I'd get my dad to invest in some tech companies. I'd work a damn sight harder at uni. I had a fun time, but didn't really put in the effort on the course. I have an underlying medical condition which I would be aware of well in advance, and I could use that knowledge to improve various aspects of my health and prevent the condition from impacting me so much. I would be more certain in my career progression instead of being stuck in a rut for a long time. I could try to prevent at least one accidental death, one suicide and one terminal medical situation. Plus ensure that one relative got much better and earlier medical care for a mental health condition. I would have come out a lot earlier and been a lot more mentally secure myself and less driven to be so private and introverted. Not saying I'd be the rainbow spangled disco boy, but I'd be less of a wallflower. No a-hole here. I'm a firm believer in the idea that no matter what happens, life goes on. If you go back in time to try to reset things, what's to stop you from doing it? Or at the very least want to do it again and again? You wouldn't be living life. You'd be trying to play a game where you may never be satisfied. If I could somehow still have my same children, I would do. I've lived a good life and it would be great if I could relive it again. I'd do some of those things better, and I'd still get to care for the most important people in my life. Yes, I only have one childhood friend that I really talk to still. I'm in my 30s. Knowing what I know now, I'd still have fun, but do it on my terms and not waste time with things and people that ultimately didn't matter. I'd spend more time with my mom, my dog, and start seriously working on skills, instruments, languages, etc. So when I approached my 20s, I'd be set up for success. Sounds reasonable. I'm just thinking about how life would be if I won't get in touch with people who turned out to be a waste of time. Like, everything is there when you see them but they don't, and you just skip that chapter and open an alternatively chapter. I can't imagine how this must feel. Freaking me out. I would probably do this. I would much more care about my younger brother and protect him from bullying, where I was too feared because he was bullied by people of my age, as well as I would learn more in mid-school. I'd go down to about age 12 as well. It's about the age when my life started going from I'm the victim of others' actions to being responsible for my own undoing. Started abusing alcohol and smoking the year I turned 13. Left college after 1 year. Spent too much time just drinking myself into a blackout. So yeah, I'd avoid going through that and countless other mistakes I've made. 23 years of my life I'd be fixing. Though there are certain people in my life today that I don't really want to give up. One person in particular that I probably would never meet if I changed it all. I do know who it is though, so I could just look the person up when the time was right. So yes, I'd do it. No, it'd be awkward. Enjoy the good days of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.